Have you ever wondered why, despite your efforts, some people just don't seem to respect you? It's not always about what you say, it's often about the habits you don't even realize you have. In this video, we're diving into 6 surprisingly common behaviors that silently erode respect from others. And more importantly, how to flip the script to earn genuine, lasting respect rooted in true Stoic wisdom. Stick around, because mastering these can change how the world sees you forever. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more powerful insights that can transform your mindset and relationships every week. Number 1, bragging about yourself. Let your results speak for themselves. Bragging about yourself is one of the quickest ways to lose respect, even if your achievements are impressive. People instinctively recoil from arrogance and self-promotion because it often signals insecurity and a lack of true confidence. The Stoics teach us that genuine worth and respect come from virtue and action, not from loud words or empty boasts. Seneca, a great Stoic philosopher, said, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." This means inner strength and quiet confidence are far more admirable than any outward display of status. Bragging is a form of external validation seeking, a loud cry for approval. But the Stoics remind us that true respect isn't given because you say you deserve it. It's earned silently through consistent behavior and integrity. Consider the example of Warren Buffett, one of the richest and most respected investors of all time. Buffett is famously humble. Despite his wealth and influence, he avoids self-promotion and lets his results speak for themselves. He doesn't flaunt his success or brag. Instead, he focuses on steady, deliberate actions and principles that build his legacy. Because of this, people respect him not just for what he has, but for who he is. Bragging breaks a core Stoic principle: apatheia, freedom from disturbance by excessive emotions or desires, especially pride and vanity. When you boast, you reveal your self-worth depends on others' recognition. This vulnerability undermines the respect you seek and often causes others to question your character or intentions. So how do you avoid this trap? The Stoics suggest a shift: show, don't tell. Instead of talking about your accomplishments, let your actions speak clearly on your behalf. When you deliver excellent work, treat others with respect and live with integrity. People notice. They respect you not because you told them to, but because you earned it. Listening actively is a powerful counter to bragging. Braggers focus on themselves, but respected people focus on others. They ask questions, listen deeply, and show genuine interest in those around them. This draws others in and makes them feel valued, which is the essence of humility. An inspiring modern example is Barack Obama. Throughout his career, Obama was known for calmness and listening skills. He didn't boast about his achievements. Instead, he engaged thoughtfully and respectfully. This earned him respect worldwide, not only for what he accomplished, but for how he carried himself. Managing your ego is key. Stoics believed ego-driven behavior causes many interpersonal problems. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his meditations to remind himself daily that he is just a small part of a much larger whole. This helped him stay humble and focused on duty rather than praise. When you check your ego at the door, you stop needing to prove yourself. This frees energy to focus on what matters: your work, relationships, and growth. You realize respect isn't a trophy to claim, but a natural byproduct of living well. To practice this, reflect on your daily conversations. How often do you steer talks to your own achievements? When you catch yourself about to brag, pause and ask, is this necessary? Will this add value, or am I seeking approval? This awareness builds humility over time and strengthens your self-control. Another practical tip is to cultivate gratitude. Stoics believe gratitude grounds us in reality and deflates the ego. When you appreciate others' contributions and successes, you stop competing or boasting. This creates a positive cycle where respect flows naturally. Remember Michael Jordan's story. Despite his incredible skills, Jordan was known for relentless work ethic rather than boasting. He let his game speak for itself. His quiet confidence inspired teammates and intimidated opponents. Jordan is respected not only for his achievements, but for his presence. In contrast, those who brag excessively often lose respect. Their words lose weight, and people tune them out or view them as insecure. The social result is loss of genuine connection and respect, which ultimately harms both personal and professional relationships. Bragging also limits your growth. When you focus on telling others how great you are, you miss opportunities to learn, improve, and listen to valuable feedback. True growth requires humility and openness, qualities that attract respect naturally. In sum, if you want respect, stop telling people why you should have it. Instead, focus on what you do, how you behave, and how you treat others. Let your results, integrity, and humility speak louder than any boast. The Stoics remind us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Bragging reveals craving, while true respect flows from contentment and virtue. Number 2, dressing poorly or neglecting. Grooming, present yourself with self-respect. Your physical presentation significantly influences how others perceive and respect you. Dressing poorly or neglecting personal grooming signals a lack of self-respect and can undermine the authority and esteem you wish to command. Stoicism teaches that external appearance isn't about vanity, but about discipline and honor to yourself and those you interact with. Marcus Aurelius, the renowned Stoic emperor, advised, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Orananis of this principle extends beyond morality to everyday actions, including how you present your body. It's an outward expression of internal order. When you care for your appearance, you embody self-respect, naturally inviting respect from others. Stoics emphasize living according to nature and reason, recognizing the body and mind form a unified whole. Neglecting grooming or dressing carelessly disrupts this unity, signaling a fragmented self-discipline that others unconsciously notice. This doesn't mean dressing extravagantly or following fashion trends. Stoicism values simplicity, but your clothes should be clean, well-fitted, and appropriate for the context. Consider Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple. Jobs famously wore the same simple black turtleneck and jeans, demonstrating a minimalist philosophy. Yet he was always impeccably groomed. His consistent appearance communicated focus, clarity, and respect for himself and his work, helping build an aura of authority in the tech world. In contrast, dressing sloppily or neglecting hygiene sends the opposite message: carelessness and disregard. When you appear disheveled or inappropriately dressed, people may subconsciously interpret this as a sign you don't take matters seriously, eroding respect before you even speak. Seneca warned against being sloppy in small things, emphasizing that discipline in everyday matters shapes character and reputation. Grooming and dress are among these small things, daily opportunities for self-mastery. Consistency in these details builds a reputation for reliability and respectability. Self-respect through appearance also boosts your confidence. When you dress well, you often feel more confident and command attention naturally. This inner confidence, not arrogance, is magnetic, helping you engage with others on equal footing. Another example is John F. Kennedy. Known for his sharp suits and neat grooming, JFK understood how appearance contributes to a leader's presence. His polished look complemented his eloquence and charisma, reinforcing public respect. His style wasn't flashy, but carefully curated to project competence and dignity. Stoics teach that external things are indifferent, neither good nor bad in themselves, but how you use them matters. Clothing and grooming are tools to reflect your inner virtues. Done with intention, they support your pursuit of excellence and social harmony. Practically, choose clothes appropriate for the occasion, maintain cleanliness, and attend to personal hygiene. These simple acts demonstrate you value yourself and others enough to put effort into your presentation. They also set a standard influencing how people treat you. An important Stoic concept is prohairesis, the moral will or choice governing actions. You cannot always control others' judgments, but you can control your self-presentation. Taking responsibility for your appearance reflects your commitment to self-discipline. Consider how grooming and dress relate to Stoic calm. A neat presentation reduces distractions and chaotic impressions, helping maintain composure and project stability. Others perceive you as reliable and trustworthy, qualities essential for earning respect. There's also a social reciprocity dimension. Showing care for yourself communicates to others that you deserve their respect. Neglect signals the opposite. This subtle dynamic continuously shapes social interactions. Avoid extremes, neither vanity nor neglect. Stoicism advocates moderation. Dressing excessively to impress is vanity, a form of desire that disturbs inner peace. Ignoring grooming reflects laziness or apathy, both harmful to dignity and social standing. This balance is reflected in Nelson Mandela's life. Mandela's dignified, often simple dress communicated humility and respect. Yet, his impeccable grooming underscored his leadership and moral authority. His presentation symbolizes values and strength, earning worldwide respect. In your own life, start small. Ensure your clothes are clean and fit well. Develop a suitable grooming routine. Pay attention to details like shoes and accessories without overdoing it. These small acts accumulate into a powerful signal of self-respect. Also, reflect regularly on how your appearance aligns with your goals and values. This mindfulness connects external presentation with inner discipline, turning dressing and grooming into acts of integrity rather than superficial tasks. Remember, respect isn't about impressing others with extravagance, but showing up with dignity and care. The Stoics teach that virtue is the highest good, and appearance is one way to manifest that virtue. In conclusion, neglecting appearance or dressing poorly can lead others to respect you less, not due to superficial judgment, but because it may reflect a lack of discipline, self-care, and respect. Cultivating simple, consistent habits in grooming and dressing appropriately communicates inner strength and earns genuine respect. This aligns perfectly with Stoic wisdom, transforming everyday tasks into powerful acts of virtue and self-mastery. Number 3, oversharing personal problems. Know when, where, and with whom to share. In an age where sharing every detail of one's life has become normalized, oversharing personal problems can quietly erode the respect people hold for you. Stoicism teaches that self-control and discernment are virtues crucial, not only for inner peace, but also for maintaining your dignity and social standing. Revealing too much about your struggles, especially indiscriminately and without purpose, often leads to being perceived as weak, unstable, or needy. Qualities that undermine respect. This isn't to say vulnerability is inherently negative, but its uncontrolled expression can be. Epictetus, a former slave turned Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of controlling what is within your power, chiefly your own thoughts and actions, and accepting what lies beyond it. Oversharing personal problems reveals a lack of control over your inner state. When you let your troubles define your interactions, you surrender your authority over your own narrative. The Stoics understood that true strength is found in how you manage adversity internally, not how loudly you proclaim it externally. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Sharing personal struggles should be a deliberate, purposeful act, not an emotional impulse or a way to seek sympathy. Consider the example of Abraham Lincoln, who faced immense personal and political turmoil. Though he experienced deep depression and hardship, he seldom publicly displayed his emotional battles. Instead, Lincoln embodied resilience and quiet strength, focusing on duty and reason. His measured openness fostered admiration and respect rather than pity or disdain. Oversharing can backfire by making others uncomfortable or burdened, turning them away rather than drawing them closer. It shifts the focus from mutual respect and engagement to an often unreciprocated emotional labor you impose on others. Stoicism advises practicing apatheia, a state of equanimity, so your troubles don't dominate your presence or interactions. This does not mean suppressing emotions entirely or never seeking support. Stoicism advocates appropriate expression and connection. Seneca, for example, valued friendship and counsel, but always with moderation and wisdom. Choose trusted confidants and suitable times to share. Make your disclosures measured and constructive, not repetitive venting. In a world of constant oversharing, those who exercise restraint stand out as composed and reliable. They create an aura of stability that commands respect. People naturally gravitate towards those who handle their difficulties with dignity. Winston Churchill, known for his leadership during the Pest, struggled with what he called his black dog of depression. Yet he never let his struggles overwhelm his public persona. Instead, Churchill's speeches and actions conveyed resolve and hope, inspiring millions. His discretion about personal pain preserved his image as a resilient leader. The way you share personal issues can affect relationships deeply. Oversharing too soon, too frequently, or with the wrong people may lead to gossip, misunderstanding, or judgment. Stoics encourage cultivating phronesis, practical wisdom to judge the right moments, appropriate individuals, and suitable depth for vulnerability. Maintaining boundaries around personal matters is an act of self-respect. It signals to others that you value yourself and your privacy, which paradoxically encourages others to respect you more. When you allow your struggles to define every interaction, you risk being seen as a source of negativity or drama. Furthermore, excessive emotional exposure can weaken your own mental fortitude by fostering dependency. The Stoics believe that resilience comes from within, shaped by your interpretations and responses to events, not by constant external validation. Epictetus urged, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go on well." Use personal challenges to grow stronger internally rather than to seek external sympathy. Reflect privately or journal your thoughts instead of broadcasting every problem publicly. This preserves your dignity and builds inner resilience. Modern examples abound where public figures who overshare personal struggles too freely often face backlash or loss of respect. Conversely, those who manage personal difficulties with discretion maintain a powerful presence. That said, it's healthy and human to seek support when needed. The key is intention and selectivity. Share with those who listen without judgment and offer genuine help, not with the hope of constant reassurance or approval. This aligns with the Stoic ideal of fostering authentic, reciprocal relationships. In conclusion, oversharing personal problems indiscriminately diminishes respect because it exposes vulnerability without control or discretion. Stoic philosophy urges mastering your emotions, choosing wisely when and with whom to share, and focusing on inner strength rather than external sympathy. By practicing restraint and wisdom in vulnerability, you uphold your dignity, build genuine connections, and earn true respect. Number 4, being overly emotional in conflicts. Master your emotions before they master you. One of the most common ways people lose respect in social or professional interactions is by becoming overly emotional during conflicts. Whether it's anger, frustration, or hurt, uncontrolled emotional reactions tend to undermine your credibility and presence. The Stoics placed immense importance on mastering one's emotions, viewing emotional control as essential to wisdom, dignity, and earning lasting respect. Seneca taught that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, and that our reaction to events, rather than the events themselves, determines our experience. This highlights a fundamental Stoic truth. It is not external circumstances that control us, but our judgments about them. When you allow emotions to dictate your behavior in a conflict, you relinquish control and appear unstable or irrational. This erodes respect rapidly. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, modeled remarkable calm under pressure. In his meditations, he repeatedly reminded himself to keep a steady mind amidst turmoil, saying, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it." and it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now. Second, this teaching is a powerful tool for managing conflict. Pausing before reacting allows you to reassess and respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Consider the legendary example of Nelson Mandela. After spending 27 years in prison under brutal conditions, he emerged not with bitterness or anger, but with a composed and forgiving spirit. When faced with political opponents and deep national divisions, Mandela maintained emotional control, which helped him negotiate reconciliation and earned him global respect. His ability to master emotions was a cornerstone of his leadership and legacy. By contrast, public figures who lose emotional control during conflicts often suffer reputational damage. Rash outbursts, aggressive gestures, or public displays of frustration signal a lack of self-mastery and often alienate allies or supporters. Stoicism teaches that emotions should be governed by reason, not the other way around. How do you cultivate this mastery? One foundational Stoic practice is the pause. When confronted with provocation or conflict, pause to breathe and reflect before responding. This creates mental space to choose a response aligned with your values rather than an impulsive reaction. Epictetus advised, "Remember that it is not he who gives abuse or blows who affronts, but the view we take of these things as insulting." However, body language is equally important. Stoics understood that emotional expression extends beyond words. Uncontrolled facial expressions, tense posture, or aggressive gestures amplify the message of losing control. Cultivating calm, deliberate body language signals composure and confidence. This subtle form of nonverbal communication builds respect silently but powerfully. Famous leaders like Angela Merkel, the former Chancellor of Germany, are noted for their calm and measured demeanor in crises. Her reputation for rationality and emotional steadiness helped her lead through turbulent times, commanding respect internationally. This steady presence was a form of unspoken leadership that inspired trust. Mastery of emotion also means focusing on facts rather than assumptions or exaggerated interpretations. Stoics distinguish between what is within your control, your own thoughts and actions, and what lies outside, such as other people's behavior or events. By concentrating on facts, you avoid the emotional traps of overgeneralization or catastrophizing that fuel conflict escalation. This does not mean suppressing all emotion, which would be unnatural and unhealthy. Instead, it means acknowledging emotions without being ruled by them. Stoicism embraces rational emotion, feelings guided by reason and virtue, such as compassion or resolve. Expressing such emotions constructively during conflict can deepen understanding and respect. For instance, Mahatma Gandhi, though deeply committed to justice, was known for his peaceful and composed responses to oppression. His emotional control, combined with moral conviction, made his leadership profoundly influential. His ability to maintain calm in the face of hostility earned him respect even from adversaries. Practicing emotional mastery requires consistent self-reflection. After any conflict or emotionally charged encounter, reflect on how you responded and identify areas for improvement. Journaling like Marcus Aurelius or contemplating your reactions daily sharpens this skill. Over time, you develop the habit of responding with calmness and clarity, which strengthens respect from others. An overlooked aspect of emotional control is the ability to forgive and let go. Stoics understood that holding grudges or replaying past conflicts in your mind only feeds emotional turmoil and damages your reputation. Marcus Aurelius advised himself to accept the things to which fate binds you and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Caution, forgiveness frees you from bitterness and projects emotional maturity. In summary, being overly emotional in conflicts undermines respect because it signals loss of control, instability, and impulsivity. Stoic philosophy teaches that emotional mastery is a core virtue, cultivated by pausing before reacting, focusing on facts, and aligning responses with reason and virtue. Historical leaders from Mandela to Gandhi to Merkel exemplify how controlling emotions in conflict earns lasting respect and influence. By mastering your emotions, you command not only respect, but also greater peace of mind and effectiveness. Number 5. Giving up too easily. Cultivate resilience and perseverance. One of the quickest ways to lose respect from others and yourself is by giving up too easily when faced with challenges. In a world that often celebrates instant success and quick fixes, the ability to persevere through difficulty is becoming rarer and thus more admired. Stoic philosophy places great emphasis on resilience, teaching that true strength lies not in avoiding hardship, but in enduring it with courage and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, who faced constant warfare, political intrigue, and personal losses, embodied this virtue. He wrote in his Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This statement encapsulates the Stoic mindset that obstacles are not barriers but opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Rather than surrendering to difficulty, the Stoic turns obstacles into stepping stones. A modern example is Thomas Edison. His persistence in inventing the electric light bulb is legendary. After thousands of failed attempts, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's refusal to give up earned him lasting respect and changed the world. His resilience mirrors the Stoic ideal of endurance, showing that persistence in the face of failure leads to mastery and success. Why does giving up so quickly cost you respect? Because it signals a lack of commitment and inner strength. People naturally respect those who demonstrate grit, those who stay the course despite setbacks and difficulties. When you give up too soon, it suggests you lack the fortitude to handle life's inevitable struggles. It also undermines your own confidence and self-trust, creating a cycle of self-doubt. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was once a slave, taught that the only thing truly within our control is our own will and attitude. He famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This means that quitting is a choice, often one that stems from a mindset, not circumstances. By choosing perseverance, you reclaim your power and earn respect from yourself and others. However, Stoicism also teaches discernment. There is a difference between perseverance and stubbornness. The key is to persist strategically, knowing when to adapt, improve, or even walk away if something no longer serves your greater purpose or values. Marcus Aurelius warned against wasting effort on what is outside your control. Thus, resilience does not mean blindly pushing forward at all costs, but cultivating wise persistence. Consider the story of Jerome. Rowling, who faced numerous rejections before Harry Potter was published. She didn't give up despite hardship, poverty, and doubt. Her perseverance not only earned her literary success, but also respect for her determination. Rowling's journey embodies the Stoic principle of enduring hardship with patience and resolve while adjusting as needed. Stoics also practice the art of premeditatio malorum, anticipating potential difficulties in advance. By mentally preparing for setbacks, they reduced fear and frustration when challenges arose, viewing hardship as part of life's natural order. This mental rehearsal strengthens resilience and helps you stay committed when times get tough. Resilience also grows from self-discipline, the ability to regulate your desires, impulses, and habits. When you build routines of consistent effort, you develop stamina and a mindset that resists giving up. Seneca noted, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." By embracing challenges, you cultivate a durable spirit that commands respect. Another element is understanding that failure is a learning process, not a verdict on your worth. Many successful people openly discuss how failure was a critical part of their journey. This perspective aligns with Stoic wisdom. External events don't define you, but your judgment and response do. When you see setbacks as teachers rather than threats, giving up loses its appeal. Finally, perseverance builds trust and inspires others. When colleagues, friends, or family see your steady commitment, They feel confidence in your reliability and character. You become a pillar of strength in your community, someone others can depend on. This social respect is one of the highest forms of honor. In conclusion, giving up too easily undermines respect because it reveals a fragile will and short-sightedness. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from enduring obstacles with courage, patience, and wisdom. Historical and modern figures like Marcus Aurelius, Thomas Edison, and J. Rowling exemplify how resilience turns trials into triumphs. By cultivating perseverance, balanced with discernment, you not only earn respect from others, but build an unshakable inner foundation of confidence and peace. Number 6, using people for personal gain. Value people for who they are, not what they can do for you. One of the most damaging habits that causes people to lose respect is treating relationships as transactions, using others purely for personal advantage. This approach not only alienates those around you, but also reflects a shallow, manipulative character. In contrast, Stoic philosophy insists on honoring the intrinsic value of each person and building genuine connections based on virtue, respect, and mutual care. Epictetus, once a slave-turned-philosopher, taught that all humans share a common nature and should be treated with dignity. He said, "Remember that you are an actor in a play of such a kind as the author chooses. If short, then in a short one. If long, then in a long one. If it be your duty to act a poor man, or a cripple, or a ruler, see that you act it well." This metaphor reminds us that our roles may change, but our respect for others should remain constant regardless of what they can provide to us. Using people for personal gain reduces relationships to mere tools, stripping away authenticity and respect. This behavior often manifests in superficial kindness that disappears when there's no benefit to be gained, or worse, manipulation disguised as generosity. When others sense they are valued only for what they do for you, trust erodes and respect evaporates. Look at the life of Marcus Aurelius, who was emperor yet known for his humility and respect for all people, regardless of status. He believed in leadership as service, not domination or exploitation. His meditations frequently expressed gratitude and recognition for others' efforts, embodying the Stoic ideal of treating every person as a fellow part of the greater whole. This mindset not only earned him respect in his time, but left a legacy of moral leadership. On the other hand, many modern leaders who have been exposed for unethical behavior, using their networks or employees purely as stepping stones, have lost public respect and often their careers. Respect built on manipulation is fragile and eventually crumbles when authenticity is tested. Stoicism teaches that respect is earned through consistent, virtuous action, not through strategic use of people. Seneca emphasized, associate with people who are likely to improve you. This means valuing relationships not for immediate gain, but for mutual growth and integrity. True respect arises from giving without expectation, helping others sincerely, and building bonds rooted in shared values. Real-life examples reinforce this. Consider Fred Rogers, known as Mr. Rogers, who treated every person he met with genuine kindness and respect, regardless of their background or what they could offer him. His legacy is one of deep respect because he valued people for who they were, not what they could provide. This authentic care created lasting, meaningful relationships. Another key Stoic idea is the importance of philanthropia, love of humanity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil." This reminder prepares you to meet others with patience and compassion rather than exploitation. Respect comes from recognizing human imperfection and choosing kindness regardless. To avoid using people, begin by examining your own intentions in relationships. Are you reaching out only when you need something? Do you listen and engage deeply or only superficially? Stoicism calls for self-awareness to root out selfish impulses and replace them with virtue-driven behavior. It's also important to practice gratitude regularly. Appreciating the contributions of others, big or small, shifts focus away from self-interest. Marcus Aurelius encouraged this daily reflection, which fosters humility and respect for others' worth beyond utility. In practical terms, building genuine connections means offering help without strings attached, showing empathy in conversation, and respecting boundaries. These actions may not yield immediate benefits, but they build a foundation of trust and mutual respect that endures. Over time, this network of authentic relationships becomes a source of real support and influence, far beyond transactional exchanges. In conclusion, using people for personal gain destroys respect because it reveals selfishness and lack of integrity. Stoic philosophy teaches that true respect comes from valuing others as human beings with inherent worth, not as means to an end. The examples of Marcus Aurelius and Fred Rogers demonstrate how authentic respect and kindness build lasting bonds and legacies. By cultivating genuine care and shedding manipulative tendencies, you develop a reputation for honor that commands respect naturally and sustainably. Thanks for watching. Remember, respect isn't something you demand or claim. It's something you earn through your actions, integrity, and how you treat others. Avoid these 6 common habits and instead embody quiet confidence, resilience, and genuine care. The Stoics showed us that real respect comes from within and radiates outward through consistent, virtuous behavior. If you found value in this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss future insights on living a stronger, wiser life. Share your thoughts in the comments. What habit do you think impacts respect the most? Let's build a community rooted in respect and growth.
See you in the next one.